But we are going to talk about both first and second grade, so we're going to go ahead and get started and people will trickle in as we talk. So first off, we're going to talk about first grade. First grade is learning about beat versus rhythm and just starting to learn about rhythm, and then we're doing fall, pumpkin-y, kind of Halloween-ish songs along with that. So first grade comes in, and the first thing we do after like our normal welcome song and all of those kind of things is we listen to In the Hall of the Mountain King. I think all of my classes are listening to In the Hall of the Mountain King this week because I was like, we just all should. And so they're listening to In the Hall of the Mountain King, and we do a really simple version of it with them. I tell them this story about Peer Gynt, who gets stuck inside of a mountain, and he gets captured by the Mountain King, who's a big, ugly troll. And the troll, the Mountain King, wants to get Peer to marry his troll princess, and Peer obviously doesn't want to do that, so he's trying to sneak away, and that's where the song comes in. So we start the song there, and we're pretending to be Peer sneaking away, and so we start really quietly, and we tiptoe to the steady beat, and we like look over our shoulders to see if there's any trolls behind us, and eventually there are, which is why we start going faster and faster and faster. Yeah. So we just do that, keep the steady beat, and we go faster and faster, and then at the end when it has that bump 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 bump, I tell them it's earthquakes, and so we jump up and then we like hop down and like put our arms out like we're trying to brace ourselves from the earthquakes so that we don't fall over, and then at the very end we jump out of the mountain. So I got that from my mentor teacher, that's the word I was looking for. I got that from my mentor teacher in student teaching, and I just thought that was like so much fun. And everyone's doing the whole Mountain King because it's so great. After that, we sit down and kind of calm down a little bit, and then we pull out the song Dulce Dulce. So this is a really fun song. I really like it because it only has, it does have rest, but it's mostly ta and titi, and then it's pretty much the only words in there are dulce and mama, and then at the end it says chiquicha. So it's really, really simple. I just have them keep the steady beat. So we kept the steady beat with In the Hall of the Mountain King, and now we're keeping the steady beat with Dulce Dulce, and I sing it, they just keep the beat. And so this one goes Dulce, dulce, dulce mama, dulce, dulce, dulce mama, dulce, dulce, dulce chiquicha, 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 chiquicha. So that's the whole song. I like it because there's not a lot of words, so even though it's in Spanish, it's pretty easy for them to pick up quickly. And then after we practice the steady beat, then we learn the rhythm of chiquicha. And so then I'll sing it through, and they're supposed to clap when we get to chiquicha, chiquicha, chiquicha. And we do that a couple of times. And then we say, and then we try to play the rhythm of the whole thing. And so we talk about how when we were keeping the steady beat, it stayed the same the whole time, and now that we are playing how the words sound, it sounds different, because sometimes it's like chiquicha, or sometimes it's just like dulce, and those sound different. And so we're trying to get to that beat versus rhythm, and I do introduce that already and just talk about, you know, what's the beat and what's the rhythm. And we always use these hand signs. So this is sign language for B, and then sign language for R. And that's really helpful, especially because we're still on Zoom, because even if the kids are, I can't hear them because I do keep them on mute, because otherwise it's just like mass chaos, then I can still see if they're holding up like a B or an R. I can see if they kind of know what I'm talking about. So those are really helpful. We do a lot of hand signs. And so after we talk about the beat versus the rhythm, then we listen to the song Hey Jack from Music K8. I love this song. It is so much fun, and it is just so cute. So if you don't know it, again, it's from Music K8. Super cute. And how we do this one is we practice doing the beat and doing the rhythm. So we do the rhythm on the chorus, and the chorus goes boo shaka laka laka boo shaka laka laka boo shaka laka laka boo, and it repeats that a couple of times, and we play the rhythm on our legs, which boo shaka laka laka boo shaka laka laka. So much fun. And then the rest of the time they're supposed to keep the steady beat, and we move it all around their bodies, and they just watch me and I show them where to put it. So super, super, super cute song. Here, I'll play a little bit of it. as you can tell. I don't want to play the whole thing for copyright issues really, but super cute. And it's on YouTube, that video, and it has all the lyrics on there with some like pictures that are super helpful, because then you can see like, oh look, this is what a jack-o'-lantern is, and all of those kind of things. So we practice the beat and the rhythm along with that. And that's it for Monday. On Tuesday, we're doing a lot of reviewing high and low from the last time I saw them. So we start with like our normal welcome song, and then we use these little pumpkin vine vocalizations that are in my TPT shop. They're super cheap. And so I just have them draw it in the air, and I draw it in my air, and I actually hold it up like this so they can see me looking at it, but I present my screen too. We just, all the visuals. And we just do an ooh vowel and go woo, and go through all of those. Their parents probably hate me, but still. And so after we practice all of that, then we listen to the song Im Herbst by Robert Franz. I love this song. So I was a voice major, and this was one of my favorite pieces that I learned in all of my lessons in all of the years. It just is so pretty, and it's not super common, I feel like, but here, I'll play it while I talk. But it is a really long ad. Okay. So this is Im Herbst. Im Herbst means in autumn in German, so it's a very nice autumny song. And what we do with this one is we find an item that is kind of like a scarf, and we just do the highs and lows along with it. So I like this one because it does a lot of like going up, and then like down, and it's really fun. And then it's in minor, so it's just got that like creepy sound to it. And there's just kind of a lot of stuff going on, which is fun. And they come back with the funniest things. I have a kid, no joke, it's October. She had a Santa hat that she was using as her scarf. She's like waving the Santa hat. I'm like, why do you have a Santa hat, first of all, in October? But it's still just like the whole thing is just silly. So after that, we read our book to help us with high and low, Mortimer. So if you don't know, Mortimer is a wonderful book. I have a whole YouTube video about how I use this in my class. Mortimer is really cute. It's about a little boy named Mortimer, and he does not want to go to sleep. So the whole thing is basically people going up the stairs, telling him to go to bed, going back down the stairs, and Mortimer does not want to go to sleep. So all through it, every time they go up the stairs, we do it going higher and lower. So we go thump, 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 and then on the way down, thump, 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 thump. And I have them do it with their hands so that I can see if they're doing it along with me, because again, they're on mute, so I can't hear them. And the only other thing that I do, other than like reading the story, is every time it gets to where Mortimer sings, so every time someone goes down, then it says, as soon as she got back down the stairs, Mortimer sang, cling, clang, rattle, bing, bang, gonna make noise all day. Cling, clang, rattle, bing, bang, gonna make noise all day. So it's a really cute book. It's really short. I usually only pick short books because, especially this year, I only have like 30-minute classes, and it's just so short. So short. So then after that, we practice our high and low one more time by learning some Indian music. So my district does this program called Musical Explorers. If you use Musical Explorers, let me know. Musical Explorers is so much fun. It is with like the Savannah Philharmonic, those were words, Savannah Music Festival puts it on, and they have 3 artists that sing songs for us, and we learn about 3 different genres, and then usually we get to go to a concert. Obviously that's not happening this time. We have like a video concert, which is not the same thing, but we're learning this stuff anyway because it's just so much fun. So the first artist we are learning about, her name is Falu, and she sings Indian classical music, and it is amazing. Full disclosure, I had never heard of it before we did this. Actually, the first time, this is the second time we've had Falu, but it is so much fun. It's just so great. It's so great. So we listen to the song Rapa, and we trace the highs and lows. If they still have their pretend scarf, then they can use that as well. And it just goes hi rapa, 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 hi rapa. And then the rest of the time I just let them dance because it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. So I'll play a little bit of it while I read the comments that just came in. So much fun. Musical Explorers, so our version of Musical Explorers is like password protected, but anyone can sign up. So if you want to get access, they have like videos of all the artists teaching the songs, and it's like a lot of content. I will leave the link in the YouTube video that has all of the links, which will be up by tomorrow, and you can sign up for free and get all of access to everything. But this song in particular, actually I looked and it is on iTunes because I just had it stuck in my head one day. And so I happened to find it on iTunes because she has a couple of albums on there. So Katie asked about tips on controlling scarf movements, kids getting really excited with them. Right now, because we're online, I don't have a lot of good tips for that. Mostly I just really focus on, like, especially with stuff like this where I'm like, okay, for this section, you need to do XYZ, and then letting them have the rest of it for more fun can be helpful. And then also when we're in the class, a lot of the times while we're doing things with the scarves, and then I'll say like, oh, can you make really tiny movements? Or, oh, can you move this way? Or, oh, can you move this way? And just kind of having that modeling will show kids, especially if you're like, can you make tiny movements? Or can you make high movements or low movements? That kind of helps. Right now we're just kind of going for it, and as long as we kind of get the contour, then we're doing pretty good. It's really funny though, if you notice, Zoom has about a 4-beat lag, and so when I'm hearing it is not when they hear it, so do be aware of that. All right, so then for first grade on Thursday, because on Wednesday we have e-learning Wednesdays, we don't have live classes, they're just supposed to work on their own on all their assignments. So Thursday they come in and we go over Hey Jack again, and I try to teach them some of the words that go along with the song, and I have like little actions that go along with everything that are pretty much what the words say. So like it says, hey Jack, what's up with that face? Hey Jack, staring into space. You have candles for a brain, and scaring kids is just a game to keep you smiling every Halloween. So basically I just go with exactly what the words say, which makes it easier to remember the words, which is really the point of that. So we go through those, super fun, and after that we go through 5 Little Pumpkins. So I just posted a video on all about this on YouTube on like Sunday, so if you want to get like the full, I think it's only 5 minutes, but if you want to get all of the information about how I use 5 Little Pumpkins, then you can see it in there. This is really cute. So usually what I do is I read the book first, and then after I read the book, then we learn the actions that we put along with it. So the actions for it just go, 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. First one said, oh my, it's getting late. Second one said, there are witches in the air. The third one said, but we don't care. Fourth one said, let's run and run and run. The fifth one said, I'm ready for some fun. Woo went the wind, and out went the light, and 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. So that's our whole thing. We do that a couple of times, and then I add a little bit of instruments. I just add the wind, really. To make it a little bit more fun. So I played at the beginning, and then when we have woo went the wind. And then I might add the drum this time. Normally we do like a soundscape along with it, so you can see all that information in my YouTube video, but I don't have the kids and I don't have all the instruments here, so we're not going to do that. And that's just how it goes. So then after that we work on the song Naughty Kitty Cat. So this is the first time we've learned it. I've only sung this like once, but it's so it goes, naughty kitty cat, You are very fat. You have butter on your whiskers, naughty kitty cat. And we just practice keeping the beat and then playing the rhythm. And then after that, we go over dulce dulce from Monday, and we see if we can figure out how many sounds are on the different beats. Now, I need some help because this is the first time this has happened. Normally when I explain rhythm, I'm like, all right, let's look at the beat and we tap the beat. Okay, now let's tap how many sounds each word has, and we go through and talk about, like, naughty has 2 sounds because it has 2 syllables. Well, we were having all the problems this week confusing letters with syllables. So I'd say, like, okay, how many syllables is cat? And they would say 3. And I would say, no, it's not how many letters it is, it's how many sounds. And then I sat through a phonics lesson and I figured out what the problem is. The problem is that the phonics teachers are teaching them sounds for letter sounds. So like cat would be k, at, or ta would be t, u. Even though those are only 1 syllable. So now I'm having a really hard time figuring out how to differentiate syllables from letter sounds. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hang out with like a 1st and a 2nd grade teacher this week. And so I'm gonna ask them if they have any ideas because they're, you know, the ones teaching them. So my plan is to try, there's a Go Noodle called Clap It Out and they're clapping syllables. So I'm gonna try doing that first so that that'll be a little bit easier. But what we do along with it whenever we get this all figured out is we just move the little dots onto the hearts. And so just 1 dot on the heart if it is 1 syllable, 2 dots on the heart if it's 2 syllables. There is a sequel to 5 Little Pumpkins. I did not know that. Friday, what we do for the last day with 1st grade is they come in, we sing our welcome song, and then we listen to Fairies and Giants by Edward Elgar? I think that's right. It's E-E. It's definitely Elgar for the end. And so this is a really fun song because you get to act it out, and also because there's really high parts and really low parts. So we listen to the song and I tell them when they have the high parts, we're going to flap around like a fairy would. If they have problems with fairies, you can just say it like a bird or just flap, just fly when we have the high sounds. And then when there are low sounds, it's supposed to be the giants, but I have them do monsters instead so we can scrunch down. And that way they associate low with things that sound low. So they like scrunch down, make a mean monster face, and we step to the steady beat. And it is hilarious, I must say, to get a whole class of 1st graders to like scrunch down and make mean monster faces. It is so funny, so funny. They love it. Like, this is one that it'll be a year later and kids are like, can we do the fairy song? And I'm like, you're in 4th grade. But it's so much fun. Like, sure. After that, we go through the same thing from the other day, but with little ghosts. So we go woo, woo and follow the little ghost patterns. And then we go over Naughty Kitty Cat and see if we can figure out the rhythm to that, because yesterday we did it with Dulce Dulce. Today we did it with Naughty Kitty Cat. And so we just add the little dots onto the hearts, and what I do is I have them hold up on their fingers, and this is how I figured out the problem with the letters, how many syllables it has, either 1 or 2 on the beat, and then I'll add it on there, and I usually will write down who is getting them correct and who is not getting them correct. And it's a really easy observation grade, which also helps me to know things like we're confusing letter sounds with syllables. So I gotta figure out how to fix that next time. And that is everything that 1st grade is doing. Now we are gonna talk about 2nd grade as well. So now we're gonna talk about 2nd grade. 2nd grade is also doing kind of fall themed lessons, and they are starting to prep half notes and talking about Allegro and Adagio because we learned that last time. So we're just kind of trying to bring that back. So with 2nd grade, we have like super short classes. My classes for 2nd grade are like 20 minutes. They're so short, and it's at the very end of their day. Like, they come to my class and then they're done, so they are like completely done. But we do all the dancing and it's great. So as far as second grade, they come in on Monday and we do the In the Hall of the Mountain King, keeping the steady beat and pretending to run away from all the trolls. And then after that, we see if we can keep the steady beat to Baba Black Sheep. And most of them actually know this song, which makes it really helpful. And after we sing it, then I'll show them it on the screen. And I'm like, at the end of each line, there's like an extra heart where there's no words, but there's still sound because we said, whoa. And they're like, huh. And I'm like, yeah, that's because my lights just went out. That was weird. And now it looks super funky. So I'm like, yeah, that's because it's at the end, those words are really long. So we have like, whoa, and they're really long. So then we go through each one. I'm like, can you take your hands and say like, whoa, and we say full, and we go through each of those last letters just to get that like long, and then we clap through playing the rhythm and doing the long at the end because they're prepping for half notes. They also learn Hey Jack, which is the same song first grade learned. They have a little more emphasis on the words to the song because they are in second grade, so they're a little bit older. And then after that, we go over Duerme Mi Tesoro. So this is a fun one. It's a Puerto Rican folk song, and it has a half note in it, which makes it perfect. So I have them clap the rhythm, but first I tell them, I'm like, all right, this is a lullaby. Lullabies are what you sing to little kids and like babies to try to get them to go to sleep. So if we want babies to go to sleep, are we going to sing it forte or piano? And they're like, piano. I'm like, oh, good. And then I say, you know, okay, well, do we want it to be allegro or adagio? Because those are the signs we came up last time for hare and tortoise. And they're like, oh, it should probably be adagio. I'm like, great. So they play the rhythm with their 2-finger claps and make sure that it's very, very quiet. And so this one goes, duerme mi tesoro, duerme mi bien, que los angelitos te miran también. And so we go through that a couple of times, and it just kind of like brings them down and calms them down a little bit, which I imagine their parents appreciate. So there is that. All right, so Miss Lerner asked, do you take assessments you take in class for number grades on their grade cards? Yes. So I usually do 3 grades. Check mark is you got everyone right. A line is you got most of them right, or like you're kind of there, like half and half. And then an X is you got like nothing right, or maybe you got like 1 right. And so this type of assessment would just be more of like I would put it in as a classwork grade because it's not super tangible. But yes, I do put those in the grade as grades. With first and second, I'm having a hard time getting any grades because they can't navigate our learning management software well enough to find my activities. So it's just been super fun. So like third grade and up have a lot more assessment wise, and first and second right now just don't have much because we're struggling, but it's all good. So as far as second grade, on Tuesday they come in and we go over Hey Jack again and learn the rest of the words that we did not learn yesterday. We go over Baba Black Sheep, and then we review our rhythm. So we just look at all the ones that we already know. So we just look at each of the rhythms that we already know, which would be quarter note, eighth notes, and rest. And then we learn about how those long notes, the woo and the full, are half notes. And right now we're just calling it ta. And so we go through a couple of different patterns, and then we look at the whole thing with the rhythm, and we play the whole song looking at the rhythm and clapping the rhythm. And I have been letting them find a drum. So either like a book or a box, or I've been using my little cup because 5th grade's been using cup songs, and we drum along with it so that because drumming is just fun.
After that, we learn one of our Indian songs as well, because second grade also does the Musical Explorers curriculum. And so we start with actually the opposite as the other ones. I hope you can't hear my dog. And it's called Allahu. And actually, I did not realize, but this song has half notes in it. I had it up and we were like dancing along with it, and then I was like, you know what I just saw? And they were like, what? And I was like, look right here. And I took like the little whiteboard and like circled it. And I was like, it's one of the notes we just learned. And they were like, what? Because they're in second grade, so just everything is crazy. I was like, I didn't even know it was gonna be in here. I have to put in the password again. The password is a little bit obnoxious. So this song is called Allahu, and we learn mostly just the chorus, which goes Allahu, 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 Allahu. So we practice drumming that, and then we listen to the song and we keep the steady beat and we play the rhythm on that Allahu part. And then if we have time, we watch the video of Falu and her friend, because they can see they're playing the tabla drums and the harmonium, which is something my kids have never seen, because I had never seen it until I taught them this. And so it's really fun. Here's how it goes. Allahu, 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 Allahu. So much fun, so much fun. So they just like rock out playing the beat and the rhythm along with that one. Then on Thursday, we start with Allahu, and then we learn the Rabba songs. We learn the 2 Falu songs. We go over Baba Black Sheep again and talk about the half note and practice that. And then we go through just a couple of rhythm cards that have little monsters on them because they're so cute. And we spend most of our time on Musical Explorers this day, so we don't do quite as much of anything else. So that is my whole 20 minutes. And then on Friday, they come in, we do Hey Jack for the last time, making sure we get all of the things. And then we go over in the Hall of the Mountain King and we do this rhythm play along from Pequeño Mozart, which is perfect because it has half notes. And so I'm always teaching half notes like right around this time, so it works out perfectly. So we go through and like play each. Still, I always start by showing them the rhythms first and we like practice them, and then we play through the song, and we usually do it twice, and I have them rate themselves. So like we do it once and I tell them, all right, tell me how you think you did. 1 is like not very good at all, 2 is like kind of okay but I need more practice, and 3 is like I totally got it. And usually they're at like 1 or 2, and then we play it a second time, and then they usually say they're more like 2 or 3. And I usually watch them and I'll kind of make notes about who is playing the rhythms correctly, not playing the rhythms correctly. It is very hard because again, I'm on Zoom, so it's like that little lag, but you can usually figure it out because even though it doesn't go with the music, they're still playing like the correct rhythms at this correct time. It's just a little off of the music. So if you just don't pay attention to the music and you know the rhythms really well because you've played them 57,000 times, then it works out. And after that, if we have enough time, then I pull out, I don't have it pulled up right now, the candy rhythm cards, and we go through those and we sort the candy by the different cards. I will link it in the YouTube video because you're probably like, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't have it up here. But we go through different candies and we sort them by how many syllables they have. So if it's 1, it's gonna be half note. If it's 2, it's gonna be 1/8 notes. And if it's 3, it's 1/8 notes, quarter note. And I actually have, it's level 2 is half notes and 16th notes, so we just ignore the 16th notes, and if I get to one that has 4, I just skip over it and it's fine. And so then after that, we always end on Friday with freeze dance because why not? Freeze dance is fun. And yeah, so for this freeze dance, I usually pick either Hey Jack or one of our Musical Explorer songs so that we're still kind of getting the same songs in there. And that is everything that 1st and 2nd grade is learning this week. I know that was kind of a lot, but I was like, well, they're very similar because I've only been talking about 2nd grade for 10 minutes. And the other thing is I got kind of off of my rotation because I have 4 classes, so I have like 4 weeks and then I start over, but I have 5 grades, so I have to like combine some to make it right. So it's been kind of wonky, but it's all good. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them right now. If you don't want to ask them now, then you can always DM me later and let me know your questions there. Thank you guys so much for being here. We go live every week at 5:30 on Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday and talk about the different lessons that I'm teaching this week. So next week will be 3rd grade, and 3rd grade is working on introducing 16th notes, and they are doing some like listening to songs and talking about how the songs sound and all of those good things. So make sure to tune in. If you ever miss one, they are always on IGTV saved, and then also on YouTube. It'll be up by tomorrow with all of the links to everything. So like all the videos that I mentioned, to the Musical Explorers website, so you can sign up for that, all the songs, all the everything. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I will hopefully see you next week. Bye.